Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, May 10th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you were someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. Real quick, a couple clarifications. Number one, the price you see over here will be changing, and the candlestick you see right there will be moving. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here, as they're called, represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one here, PLTR, very big move today after earnings. And let's first map out some levels of support, and then we can go talk about some areas of resistance, which we're going to have to kind of go on a little search for, which is always fun to do. But first level of support, if you like to play more so pullbacks, $9.25, interesting level. That is essentially where the price bottomed out right here. So had a breakout, consolidated it out, and then as I'm speaking, you can see this price is headed to new highs right now. But like I said, if you're more of a pullback player, then an interesting level right down there at $9.25. But now let's go on a search here for levels of resistance. And the chart's going to get hard to see, but that's because we're having to go back way into the chart's history because it's been a long time since the price has been up this high. So let me squeeze things down a little bit more. So next key overarching level of resistance. Whoops, let's try that again. Let's see, what is that right there at $9.70. So bring that across. So basically right where the price is at right now. And you can see that was from a low, like I said, hard to see, but there is a low right there. Which now could provide areas of resistance, but I'll add one more just in case this breakout continues with the next key level of resistance after that, then being up there right around the $9.90 mark, although if you would just want to round it up to 10, I definitely wouldn't call you crazy in that regard. But moral of the story here, big volume today, and as I speak, volume continues to pour in right now, so let's see if this momentum carries into Wednesday. Next one, MOBQ, and this is a solid one. I like how this has some very well-defined levels, so we'll start off once again with supports. And like I said, I'm not trying to impress you. You got to think that a lot of people have noticed 22 cents right here being a key area of support that held here. And then once again. So if the price does roll back over, are there guarantees? Absolutely not. But is it valid? Is it plausible to think that the price could bounce off that level when it's already done it twice before? Yeah, absolutely. So maybe you like to try to play some sort of like triple bottom setup. Maybe that comes along. So 22 cents, very well-defined area of support. And then in terms of areas of resistance, main overarching level I would call right up there at the 31 cent mark. So right now just a bit of a consolidation, but good to see that this pullback, because you got to remember this pullback started up there and started to drop and drop and drop and drop, but no coincidence, it did find some support right there. Now it's starting to head back up, which just brings up the question, can this bounce, bring it up to that 31 cent mark, and can the price push up through it? We'll see what happens. Next one, TCRX, and very rough 30-minute or final 30 minutes as I speak. You can see right here the price is essentially pushing lows. So not exactly the greatest way to end the day here, but one candle doesn't make or break a chart. But what really stands out to me, and again, you got to think that a lot of people have drawn that trend line. So call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want. When a lot of people are watching the same levels and wondering the same thing, it can produce some very dynamic movement. So no guarantees, but is it valid to think that the price can turn around, come back up to that level, and then get the break up through it? That break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure. That seems like a more than plausible outcome. So definitely keep an eye on that trend line right there in terms of a resistance level. And then as far as levels of support are concerned, just want to make sure that, yeah, there we go. This former breakout area from back here, and this is just based on a foundational rule that levels of resistance potentially can act as support. So $3.40 would be an interesting level of support if this pullback does continue. But yeah, overall, no doubt about it, this last 30 minutes here looking kind of shaky, but from the bigger picture point of view, the price is still technically in an overall uptrend and an overall bullish pattern. Next one here, NVAX, and I want to put this one here because same general idea, so I don't repeat myself, so I'll just draw it quickly again. So we have that trend line right there that you got to think a lot of people are watching, and then you have more of so these overall levels, and depending on how you want to look at it, I'm just going to go ahead and use the lows from the day down there at 890, and then we'll make this all one color to hopefully make it easier to see. Pattern wise, we have this resistance, we have this support, we have this big explosion right here, and if you golfers, we'll make it a little bit more visual. Put the golf flow down here, and this would be known as a bull pennant pattern. So a lot of people are watching, and again, when a lot of people are watching, doesn't guarantee anything, but it makes it very plausible to think that if the price can come up to the top of the pattern, get a break up through it, that break could definitely create some additional buying pressure. Next one, AMC, not a good day individually. And I'm not going to say that the entire chart's ruined because that would be, too dramatic. But it is starting to look a little weak here, and, some minor red flags should start to come up. But to be fair, from a big picture point of view, even if you were to look at it like this and then draw some sort of big old upwards movement like that, you could make an argument. I don't know if people would accept the argument, but I'd at least understand where you're coming from and just calling that still a bull flag pattern. And the reason why I wouldn't call that crazy is because you got to keep in mind, from the big picture point of view, the price is still above that pink line, which on my chart represents the very famous and very well-known 200 period moving average. Now, there is also perspective that goes into it. If you were a day trader and you bought right there this morning and your plan was to buy and sell within 10 minutes, well then yeah, from that point of view, the chart is a train wreck. But assuming you do care about the bigger picture point of view, no doubt about it, bigger pullback here. However, you do still have that pink line there that the price is above, which makes $5.40 moving forward a very important level of support. Real quick, want to take a quick break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'll be offering here very soon. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then certainly get signed up for this free class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box. If you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can click to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. Next one here, PLUG, and very big beat down here. So gap down right there, and then after the gap down kept bleeding. But what makes it interesting is the price has now at least started to go sideways. Now let me be very clear, and I wish I could say trading was this easy. Just because the price got beat down and just because the price is going sideways does not mean for sure guaranteed this is the bottom and for sure guaranteed this thing is going to snap back up. But does it at least become a little bit more plausible? Does it at least become a little bit more logical to throw that suggestion out there? In my mind, absolutely. I mean, if the price was still just going straight down and I'm sitting here saying, hey, it's looking like this could be the bottom, you'd be completely justified to say, what are you talking about? Based on what? The price is literally going straight down. But that's not the case here. The price has at least started to go sideways. So that does not guarantee that we have a bottom, but it does make it at least a little more valid, in my opinion, that this could be some sort of bottom. So $7.90 is going to be that key level of support for the very simple reason of, well, that's just where the bleeding stopped on a couple of different occasions today, both there and then there. And then if there is going to be any sort of snap back upwards, and I don't know, I remember PLUG used to be really popular. I don't think it's as popular as it once was, but I still think there's a lot of eyeballs that watch it. So keep it on that trend line right there, and if the price can come up there and get a break, then it makes sense that there could get some sort of, even if it's just a dead cat bounce from a trader standpoint, those can still be very profitable. Next one, CLRO, and I like this one going back to the talking topic of these self-fulfilling prophecies, because you got to think, and maybe you already noticed it, but right there at $2.20, I mean, price rejected from right there. Price really struggled with it basically all afternoon long with one false breakout. So you got to think that breakout players and everybody and their brother's uncle is going to be watching that level and wondering, can the price turn itself back around? And if it can and get up there and breaks up through it, will that break, create additional buying pressure? That seems like a very worthwhile, scenario to keep an eye on. And then as far as levels of support are concerned, generally speaking, right down there around $1.85 seems like an interesting level if you like to play more so pullbacks. But in my opinion, at least, the most interesting dynamic is that $2.20 mark. So we'll see what happens with it. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and rough move this morning with a gap down and came back and continue to pull back with the power of charts. So I'll turn that into a quick plug to get signed up for that free training. But check it out. Price came down here and surprise, look right where it found some support, right at that purple line before heading back upwards. So from that angle of things, that 50 period moving average was an area that you would want to see hold as support, and it did indeed hold as support. So 167, 65-ish, I would say, is an important level to watch moving forward from the support side of things. And then just to add in one more area to watch right down here at the official lows, which were at the 166.50 mark. In terms of levels of resistance in the near term, you now have this level right up there at the 170 mark. And then after 170, you can turn your focus to right around 172.50. But one hurdle at a time. Let's just first see if the price can get above 170. But you got to give credit where credit's due. Nice bounce here underway. It's just a question of, can this momentum carry it up to 170, get the breakthrough there? Let's see what happens on Wednesday. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this one because you've heard me say it already, but AMD and self-fulfilling prophecies, I mean, check this one out. I'm sure you already saw it. But look right up there at $96. I mean, broadly speaking, past basically day and a half, the price just can't quite get through that level. So got to think a lot of people are watching 96, and if the price can get the break, does it create additional buying pressure? Seems like a realistic possibility. As far as levels of support are concerned, got that little trend line right there. So change that to green to represent more so the support area of it all. And then just to make this real quick, so resistance, support, nice upwards move right there. Golf hole down here, a very bootleg looking bull pennant pattern. Next one here, TQQQ, which is an ETF that measures the NASDAQ market. And when NASDAQ market has a down day, this one does too. So that's why, you had the gap down here. But all things considered, let me squeeze this up. The price is holding up just fine. I mean, yeah, you have this higher range where it's just kind of bouncing around right now. So yeah, 28.50 remains that stubborn area that's become quite annoying. But it's not like today was a gap down and then the price came all the way down to the, the bottom part of this range. In fact, I'm going to map that out just to really illustrate the level of support that I would say actually matters from more of a broader standpoint. And that would be down there at that level of 26.36. I don't know if I said that right. I think I meant 26.35. 26.35, but I guess that's 1 penny away anyway. So anyways, but you can see right there, former area of resistance, now support, now a support. So like I said, even if the price drops down here, I mean, technically speaking, the price is just kind of in this sideways channel right now. So overall, that's my long way of saying that, yeah, today, not the greatest day, but from a broad standpoint, everything's just fine. The only scenario that I can see somebody saying, wow, today was terrible, is if you were some sort of breakout player that was buying yesterday and then you held and hoped and then you got, crushed today on the gap down. But other than that, like I said, I would just say a very neutral chart right now. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here, then I want you to get signed up for the free live class. It'll be very soon, Thursday, May 11th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, do 2 things for me, please. Hit the like button and then leave a comment. Let me know what you traded today. Let me know what you're watching tomorrow. Those 2 things help out these videos, help out the channel. And as long as I know people are enjoying, I will continue to do them. So again, get signed up for that free class. Hit that like button and leave a comment down below.